Peace, everybody, man. It's your boy Rashone, live from the slip seat. Even though we not in the slip seat right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the crib. I was trying to record earlier today, but I kept having little difficulties, and so I was like, well, when I get to the crib, I gotta get this. I gotta get this off. You know what I mean? So yo, first of all, peace and blessings to everybody right now. Everybody who who might be going through and may have lost a loved one through this COVID-19 situation, man. Peace and blessings to y'all. Peace and blessings to those who have um, contracted the virus and who have now overcome it, and you're trying to get back to health. Peace and blessings to all y'all as well. Um, and everybody else, man, that may be home and you unemployed right now, and you might be going through it, even though some people may be getting their benefits from unemployment. Some people still trying and ain't hearing nothing, and you know what I'm saying, and you know it just got you all in a frenzy right now. Keep your head up. And everybody just remember, man, this situation right here, some people could look at it like it's a hindrance to them, but in actuality, what I mean, can all be a blessing for you. You know what I'm saying? Just sit back and reset, like I always say, and think, strategize. So when this thing is all over with, how you gonna come back, and how you gonna, what I mean, how you gonna bounce back from all this, and what's your plans after this is all, when this is over, because it's gonna be over, and we're gonna have to, it's gonna take some time to get back to normalcy, but it's gonna happen, you know. So what's your plans going forward, and how what's your outlook on things, on life, since this whole pandemic just turned a lot of people's world upside down. And one thing we you know that doesn't get spoke about in the whole situation too, man, is we as the adults and everything going through a situation where we gotta think about the children too, man. The kids are dealing with a lot too. Some kids may be enjoying this time off, and then some kids are inquisitive and not really understanding this whole thing, and why they can't finish finish the school year out, and why they can't see their friends, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, and why they can't go out and go to certain places, you know what I mean, because you had quarantine and lockdown. So we gotta think about the children too and their well being, and making sure you continue to keep talking to them as well, man, because not only as adults your mental could get, cloudy, but children as well, man. You know what I mean? Because their brains are still developing, they don't understand. You know what I mean? So you gotta make sure that we keep talking to your children, and you know, keep talking to any of the children in your family or whatever that's close around you and things, man, and you know, just keep talking to them, because the children, you know, throughout this whole thing, not many people are talking about the kids too, man. You know what I mean? And it's a lot on them too. We as adults at times could go on and say like, oh, they don't have no responsibility, they don't have to, but they still out here dealing with the things that's in their life, and the things that we look at as minute. It really matters to them. You know what I'm saying? So we have to stay up with that. But yo, make sure y'all following the page, y'all hitting the subscribe button, you hitting the bell for notification, and so anytime I post something, because every week I'm trying to come on and I'm trying to post videos, you know, they're just to keep y'all up to date. I don't try to harp on the the death toll of the COVID and all the other the stressful part. I don't try to harp on that. I just try to talk about the other things, because I know at times with all of this going on, you can get tunnel vision. So, you know, I try to talk about the other things that's going on within this situation when it comes to like the stimulus money, and just other bills and acts or whatever that's being passed. I try to, come through with that information. And then as we keep going further on down the line, I'll be talking about a lot more, you know, other things as well. So, just make sure y'all stay up with me. You got the YouTube page, which y'all know, Space Invaders, SPYCEINVADERZ. That's on YouTube. You got the Facebook and the Instagram. I don't do Twitter. Facebook, Instagram, Rashone Looka, Looka. That's both on Facebook and Instagram. So you can check me out on there and stay up with me, man. But yeah, there's a few things I want to talk about real quick. But first off, I want to talk about what's up with your boy Trump, man, telling people to drink bleach. Like, dude is mentally like something. I've said it for a long time since he's been in office. Because anybody that's from the tri-state area, we all knew about Trump and who Trump was. You know what I'm saying? And but to actually hear dude speak, it wasn't until he started running for presidency. So that's when you start to see how ignorant homie was, and homie is rather. But as time went on, I started to notice, man, that this not only ignorance. This dude is like something is really mentally wrong with him, seriously. And I ain't a doctor. I ain't gonna diagnose what it is. But in my mind, I got in my head like a couple of, you know what I'm saying? Like I know a few things it might be with this guy, man, like mentally, but something is wrong with him. And because you can see, like he says things, and his how you say something and then your face, like someone know they said the wrong thing and then they face expression to tell it all. Not this guy. He say stuff and you don't even see no facial expression. It's just blank because he hasn't a clue. Like he just say shit. It just flies out his mouth and he don't even know. It's like that meme, that meme that they had with the frog in the hood, and it's like it's your conscience, and he's like, yeah, whatever's on your mind, he says, yeah, say that, do it. That's just where it is with him, man. It's like whatever kind of his mind is that one on that left shoulder that says, do it, say it, and he just say it. That's it. He don't think nothing of it, and he has no, like, he doesn't even try to take back anything. And he, like, that's wrong. He actually, in his mind, thinks the things that he has said over time since he's been in office is okay. And that's something that's mentally wrong with you. Like, if you could think that you can say stuff to people and then you don't, and you think it's okay, like, and you trying to justify something that's like terribly wrong that you said about somebody, like, yeah, something seriously wrong with you. So, that bleach thing, nothing is like really surprises me with this guy. It's just all you could do is just like shake your head like word, and this is who they wanted to be the president. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, like, I can't remember. I forget the name of the movie where Chris Rock was in. It may come to me before it's in, before we over right here. But the movie Chris Rock was in one time, and he was the alderman. What was that? Head of state. And how that whole situation went down, and how they put him, they put Chris Rock and they put him in the office because they was trying to get somebody else out the way, but they boosted Chris Rock up so much that it put him in position. Before you know it, you know what I'm saying, he was in there. And Chris Rock was in that movie Head of State, didn't even know what in the heck was going on, but he didn't even know how to run. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even know how to be a president. You know what I'm saying? He was just an alderman. You know what I mean? And he didn't know how to be a president. And before they knew it, it was too late. They couldn't pull him out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like what happened with Trump, man. You know what I mean? If you seen that film I'm talking about, Head of State, and if you haven't, look it up. I don't. It came out maybe late '90s, early 2000s maybe. I want to say mainly late 90s. I want to say. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, man, if you know about that movie, then you know what I'm talking about. Like this whole thing with Trump, that's what it all reminiscent of that film. You know what I mean? So I never took dude serious anyway, and I'm not surprised at anything he says. And then, like today is April 29th, Wednesday night, and but earlier today I heard Diddy had posted something on his Instagram and talking about, um, holding a election hostage and until because of Biden and not believing like he doesn't have a black agenda until he gets one, you know what I'm saying, until he lets us know, then he's gonna hold the election hostage. Diddy don't speak for all of us, for one. And number two, when has any president had a black agenda? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. When it has any president had a black agenda? When has we had Obama, and we didn't get that agenda we was looking for, and a lot of us went out and voted for him. A lot of us promoted for him. A lot of us pushed for him. We didn't get that agenda. But a lot of the entertainers, we still seen them at the White House, at the balls, at the galas, all of that. Nobody said not one thing. You know what I'm saying? And I voted for Obama. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be on that side of history. But at the end of the day, when I didn't see a black agenda, you know what I'm saying? I didn't expect one either. You know what I'm saying? And when I didn't see a black agenda, I didn't get mad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they politicians, man. It's politics, it's game. You know what I mean? And we got to always understand that's the executive office. So they're not just going to do for, you got the Republicans, and the Republicans always for their interest and things of that nature. But overall, in totality, man, the president is for got to do the country business. And so black people ain't on that agenda, man. It's the country business. We're not on that agenda. So we had Obama in there. The black agenda wasn't on the table then. Nothing get, and I'm gonna say this, man, and I don't want to offend any families or anybody that dealt with any of this, what I'm about to say during that time. But let's think about this here, man. And I'm not trying to put that on Obama and anything, but I'm just want to give y'all something to think about. Then I'm going to move on. When Obama was in the office, we had a lot of our young black men getting killed by the police officers. We had a lot of our black young men getting slain down, like sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? When he got in the office. And we got nothing in return from that. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessings to all of those young black men that was lost. You know what I mean? For no reason, the black women that we lost, black women as well during Obama's, presidency. Our people got sacrificed, man. You know what I mean? And nobody's talking about that. But let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming him, but let's not forget that. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? And there was no agenda for us still put on the table when he was in the office. So you're going to sit here now and we going 2 presidents after him and you still asking for something? You talking about an agenda? You didn't ask that. And Diddy and Jay-Z, Beyonce, Usher, a whole list of entertainers was still partying it up with Obama. Where was the agenda at? Everybody just wanted to get next to the black president because it was history. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna go to this white man 2 presidents later after the black president, and we're gonna ask for an agenda. Are you serious? When when some of our prominent black people were sitting right next to the first black president, and I mean, and you didn't call him out. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Let's keep it real, man. We gotta do for self, and it's just like this. When you a child, your parents or your parent, they groom you up to to be independent. So you go on and you be independent. So once you independent, you go. It's all on. You start to get bills in your name. You start to get credit. You starting to rent or own things. That's on you now. Your parents, they can't stop that rent. They can't stop them bills from coming in for you that you created. They can't stop it, right? They can help you out, but they can't stop them. They coming. They're in your name. So at the end of the day, it ain't gonna be no effect on the ones who raised you up. That's on you now. You out here, you standing on your own too. You gotta do for self. You still might have a safety net, but you gotta do for self. So at the end of the day, we gotta do for self. Them people they ain't here to do nothing for us. We as a people, and we live around each other in the community, in communities and stuff, we gotta look out for each other. And that's it. And until we can get that through our heads, man, until we can make that happen, I mean, looking to the president, man, that's just like, hey, man, that's like, that's like you going in the store and you going in the store to purchase something, and you wishing that the CEO, like, do you go when you go in the store? Is the CEO around? Who you actually speak to when you got a problem? It ain't the CEO, cause you ain't gonna never see him. You actually speak to what? A manager. You know what I mean? Who's the manager's manager, the district manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never ask for the CEO. Why? Cause you know you ain't gonna see him, right? So why, when we got situations in our states and our cities, why are we looking for the president when we supposed to be looking locally, starting right there? You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm moving on past that, man. But I just wanted to drop that jewel, man, because I'm tired of a lot of hearing these entertainers and talk this smack, man, about, uh, you know, this agenda, like, oh, we need this agenda. But y'all people were the ones, y'all was standing right next to him. We common folks we couldn't get next to Obama. We can't get next to some of these presidents, like have access to, you know, A-listers, like, you know, all of the A-listers can. Us common folks can't get next to you, but we support y'all. You dig? But we can't even get next. We can't even get next to y'all, but we support y'all, and we put a lot of we put all the A-listers where they are right now. We put them there, and I say this to say this, man, right here, like, us common folks are the stars right now. As you can see, what's going on right now. They got, they still got it classified essential workers. So everything else is a secondary, baby. If you're not an essential worker, you secondary, baby. You know what I'm saying? So entertainment, everything goes on the back burner. Sports, everything goes on the back burner. It's what's needed to move the country right now. That's what it's about. Guns and butter. This is what's moving the country, yo. That's what it's about. So, like, if you not, you know what I mean, if you're not an essential worker, man. So this right here, this situation, when I tell people to think about and rethink about what you're gonna do, you know what I'm saying, when this thing is over with, and how you gonna, you know what I mean, how you gonna move forward. You got where we gonna position ourselves, you know what I'm saying, when it's over. You know what I mean? Because the world is gonna be the world is changed. The world as we knew it is over. You know what I'm saying? It's it's gonna be a new it's gonna be a new day. You know what I'm saying? Once they open back up these states and open back up the country, it's a new day the way business is gonna be ran. But yo, I'm off of that. Step down off of the soapbox for a minute. So yeah, I want to get into this situation. We're gonna talk about this Emergency Money for the People Act. But first off, I know it was a lot of questions. A lot of people was talking about they wasn't receiving their stimulus checks and the getting it direct deposit. A lot of people were saying they weren't getting their direct deposits from the government. They wanted to know what was going on with that 1,200 stimulus check. And what's happened is like anybody who's got or dealt with H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, TurboTax, and if you took an advance from them, then that is why the government doesn't have your information. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I can think is you could just keep going to the IRS website and going to where's my refund and putting your information in, and hopefully it'll take, you know what I'm saying? Um, but other than that, I can assume how the business went, but I don't deal with H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, TurboTax. I don't know how that's done. I've heard various things about it, you get a card or whatever from those three entities. I don't know how that go. Maybe y'all could drop a comment, man, let me know how it actually goes when you do the advance. I mean, only thing I could think on the business tip, when they give you an advance, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I was thinking, how it was going down, like, oh, so if they gave you an advance of whatever it is, maybe they gave you partial of your refund or they gave you the whole advance, then I was thinking that your check goes back to either one of those entities. If it was H&R Block you did business with, or Jackson Hewitt or TurboTax, I was thinking, oh, well, if you took an advance from them of any sort, then the check is going to go to them. So there's no need for your bank information to be given, because you got the money, whatever monies you got from the advance from those entities. So that's what I was thinking, and I could be wrong, but y'all could check me on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my channel here is, I'll be speaking my opinion, but I on certain things, but a lot of things I'm giving you facts. I write a lot of stuff I come to y'all with. I'm writing it down, and I'm going to different sources and making sure and fact checking before I kind of bring anything to y'all, man, when I'm talking about certain situations. But just on that situation right there, I'm not fully for sure how it went down, but all I know is the government saying if you took an advance from any one of the three entities I just said, then that's what the issue is. Um, and far as the paper checks, man, they saying to be still on track. And this is all from the Washington Post, man. So it seems like they still seem to be on track, and I think they cutting 5,000 with 5 million checks a week or whatever like that. So it seems to be still on track as far as that goes. Um, but yeah, we gonna jump in to these bills here, or these acts, I should say. So I know it was a lot of talk too about that $2,000. A lot of people was talking about the $2,000. They're gonna be giving up $2,000 a month. So a lot of people talking about that, but then they stopped right there. So the $2,000, and this is all under the Emergency Money for People Act. Um, it's $2,000 a month. This is something that Congress has presented. It's been presented, but it's not etched in stone. You know what I'm saying? But this is something they presented, and it's $2,000 a month. Um, every American from the age of 16 and up, for a year or up to a year. We always got to remember that when you're dealing with government or business, banks, whatever. It like up to. It ain't say a full year. It said up to. So that means that it's some type of stipulation. It's something, So what that something is they said up until is up for up until a year, or until the employment level reaches pre-COVID-19. So wherever they had the employment rate at before COVID-19, that's where it will have to be for them to cut it for them to cut it. Then they have another. That was the first act. That's part of it. Then another one is on the table. You know what they presented is the Mortgage and Rent Cancellation Act, and that would go that would eliminate mortgages and rent for a year, for up to a year, for primary residences, and um so far as your utility bill, some people want to say, well, all right, that's taking care of that, but what about my utility bill? Okay, so your utility bills is pretty much like, well, you need to work out when it comes to utility bills, the student loans, any bank loans and stuff. It's like ask for extensions, ask for forbearances, deferred payments, like ask for those things. A lot of some of us may already know, like um, a lot of the utility companies and the banks and things of that nature. Um, we already know student loans; they already be doing deferred payments and stuff like that. But a lot of them have those. A lot of them have those programs in place right now where they know the situation, so they're gonna help out. But you won't never know if you don't ask. So don't let your pride get in the way. If you are unemployed and you know when this thing is over with, make sure you holler at the utility companies, holler at your bank for extensions, um, or forbearances or whatever. Just make sure you get at the people, man. So and find out what you need to know because it's a crisis right now. So pretty much the financial institutions have no choice but to work with the people because it's just not like it's one person coming into the bank or one person calling the bank saying they got. This is a crisis where many of their customers are going to be calling for the same thing right about now. You know what I mean? So if you don't call, if you don't ask, you won't never know. You know what I'm saying? Closed mouth don't get fed, right? So that's that. So yeah, those are the two acts that they are trying to present. The $2,000 a month, up to a year for every American from the age of 16 and up, or until employment levels drop pre-COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Mortgage and the Rent Cancellation Act, which I said that will cancel mortgages and rent for up to a year. And yeah, at primary residence, only for primary residence. So, you know what I mean? That's what that's dealing with. So, yeah, that's what that's dealing with. Um so you got those two acts, and I mean, me personally, I don't know, that 2,000 a month seem a little, you know what I mean? For every from 16 and up, you gonna give a 16-year-old $2,000 a month? You know what I'm saying? That's a little, you know what I mean? So I don't see that one really, you know what I mean? I don't see that one really. Either the money gonna drop on that one and the age level gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? Um, but where's that right now for that? Me personally, I don't see that one kicking off. You know what I'm saying? But I think mortgages and rent would be a good thing that will help people out. And then you figure they were talking about extending unemployment for a year. So you figure if you help people out on that manner and then put people in place in every state to help out with the getting uh, getting all the applicants, the people that's calling in for unemployment. If you hire people in these states for the employment agencies,